Hi, thank you for joining me today. Yes, you see that correctly. SimCity. It's SimCity 5. Came out in 2013. I know, it's old. It was doomed from the start, but I still kind of enjoy it because the same things happen over and over again, and I keep trying desperately to win, for lack of a better word. My goal is always to get 1,000,000 population, which I don't even think is possible maybe in this game, and to build up the city so that it's very modern and yet the roads work correctly. Now, as you can plainly tell, I am horrible at roads. I just can't do it. And I've been playing this game for at least 3 years now, and I just don't know how to set up roads in this game. There are disadvantages, obviously. I'm sure City Skylines is the city builder game. I have that as well, but it's so technical that I can't really enjoy it the way I can enjoy this game. So this game is more, I guess you could say, strategy as opposed to building, which sounds weird, but hear me out. As I mentioned, it's difficult to get the roads correct so that traffic jams aren't constant. It's difficult to build up population without crime infesting the area. The only thing that is not all that difficult to do, believe it or not, is make a lot of money. And I always start out small. I concentrate on traffic and minerals, so oil, coal, and raw ore. And I don't really pay attention to much else, so that could be an issue with me. And maybe I'm just too stubborn to accept it or realize it until it's too late. I don't know, but as you can plainly tell, my road system stinks. The reason I build my roads the way I do is because I look at the wind direction. So depending on which way the wind blows, and it only blows in one direction all the time in this game, which is funny, but that's beside the point. If the wind is blowing down, then I would put my houses up. If it's blowing from left to right, I will put my houses on the left. I don't know if that's anal of me or if that's just normal, but you have to avoid things like air pollution, ground pollution, crime, and traffic if you want the game to progress. So that's why you see me building the way I do. I didn't want any houses on the bottom, but I ended up putting some there anyway, and a school. I made the main thoroughfare too big, but I always outline where my minerals are. I'm calling them minerals because I can't think of the word. Resources, maybe? So the water's one place and the coal is another place. That's another thing I always do. I always start out with coal power. When I first started playing this game, I always used wind and solar. And it became extremely expensive because it ran out super quick. So you would have to keep adding wind farm and sun farm and wind farm. And you start running out of room and then you run out of power and you're screwed. Well, I got tired of that. So I always start with coal. But that, again, is another goal of mine. I would like to start with a polluting type power source and then eventually end up using solar and wind and hope that it works. But I don't think it ever will in this game because, as I mentioned, you end up using at least 15 to 20 wind generators. And the solar panels are huge, so that takes up a lot of space. You need a ton of those. And it just wasn't conducive to building up your population because those things took up too much space. And that is a downfall to this game. In Cities Skylines, you can build out to infinity practically. I think there is a border actually. But it does expand where these don't. However, this particular world that I'm building in has 16 different lots on it. And I enjoy those because I can use one resource on one lot and another resource on another. I can generate a lot of water on a third and then share it with the others. And then there's shipping and things like that. So it's not impossible to succeed in this game. I just haven't gotten there yet. So I'm going to try that. That's one of my goals. But my initial goal is to see if I can get 1 million people in one of these little tiny squares. I don't think that the game could even handle it. So up in this corner is where I wanted my people. It never turns out right. However, what I eventually do when the city has built up enough and I've got more than 1 million, is it simoleons in this game as well? I will start deleting roads and rebuild. In City Skylines, you can take a whole road out and not lose any buildings. But in this one, if you demolish a road, you demolish whatever is built on it as well. And that's kind of a downfall, if you want to call it that. It's not devastating if you have a ton of money and you're established. Your game is that established that you can delete a neighborhood and then immediately add another one. Because if you're using a larger road, you will get larger homes and larger office buildings. I just hope that it's okay that I'm doing this. I'm trying to branch out. I don't want to be known as a one-trick pony making videos. They all have to be Animal Crossing. They all have to be The Sims. I don't want to do that. However, my selection of games probably isn't nearly as exciting as a lot of the younger generations are concerned. But even when I was in that age bracket, I never cared for violence, gore, and horror. Because to me, it is all lumped into one category, and that's just disgust. Cutting people up, chopping off heads, eating people. That's not my idea of horror. That's just gruesome, disgusting, gross. So it doesn't scare me. It makes me want to vomit. And that's why I don't enjoy it. There are a couple really good Japanese horror movies. Oh my gosh. That is real horror. So as far as the games go, they're too dark and depressing for me. And I don't like feeling that way. When you come away from a game or a movie feeling like you weigh 8,000 pounds and you just can't, you can hardly even breathe. I hate that feeling so much. So that's why I avoid those types of games and movies in general. So you're not going to see me playing those types. I don't know that you would even care. I don't know, but I'm just saying. That's how I feel about it. So this first video is, yes, rather boring, but I'm just kind of giving you an idea of how I set up my first city. I have quite a few more coming. But I might as well mention as well, I tried Twitch twice, and it's not going to work. OBS takes up enough space. And then when you hit record, my memory is gone within 20 minutes. So even recording these offline, as it were, I'm down to 46 gigabytes of space. Whereas normally I will make a Sims 4 video and an Animal Crossing video, and I'll still have close to 80 gigabytes. So city skylines in this game, it's just not working. And I don't understand. I've got 16 gigabytes installed. Of course, when you look at the computer, it's a ton more than that. There's like 286 gigabytes on this computer. I don't know how that works. I don't get it. I never did. So it looks like we're coming up on the end of my video here. I know it was boring and I apologize for that, but this is just the start. This is just getting my city set up. We're going to attempt a few things here and hope for the best. I do hope you're enjoying these, will enjoy these. And as always, I thank you so kindly for supporting my channel. I also hope you have an absolutely fabulous day as well. Take care of yourselves now. Bye-bye.